Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to join me for yet another cozy build in Eternity Isle. If you're new, thank you so much for clicking that thumbnail. I'm Cress, and today we're going to finish off our Tangled themed exteriors by decorating the SNUGGLE Duckling Tavern in Disney Dreamlight Valley. It has been so much fun sharing my Tangled themed builds with you, and I hope you like this one too. If you're interested in more speed builds and valley tours and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider clicking that button. A huge thanks to those who have already subscribed. I appreciate it so much. Let's get this build started. As in love as I am with all the beautiful biomes we have in this game, the one thing I dream of is being able to terraform. Water features are so hard to come by, and if I had it my way, every single one of my builds would have a pond or a river or something. So to make up for that, we're gonna go ahead and use the same stream rug that we used for Rapunzel's tower. I hope you're not sick of it. This probably won't be the last time it shows up, to be honest. This little trick with the bamboo fence was a stroke of genius that Superbored Housewife on Instagram, and I think TikTok, discovered a while back. I'll link her socials in the description. Extending the fence felt too Ancient's Landing for this build, but by laying the posts down one or two at a time, you can create a more uniform effect. We have so many beautiful rustic items in the game, but the one thing that I want to lament about for just a few seconds is the lack of variety for fences. I thought about using the white wooden fence for this build, but it was just too bright. I wish that we had the ability to change the color of the fences. It would make this build so much more cozy and authentic feeling to have a brown wooden fence. Gameloft, if you're listening, please give us more fences. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Just like with Rapunzel's tower build, I wanted to make the rugs blend in as much as possible with the landscape, so I used a lot of different foliage and rocks. These peaceful meadow greenery items are so useful for filling out large spaces, so I used them quite a bit. Since the tavern is in the premium shop again this week, I thought this would be the perfect time to share this build. Maybe you're on the fence about getting it, or maybe you already have it and you're looking for some inspo, or maybe you just want to enjoy some lo-fi music and a cozy build in the background while you finish up the Dreamlight Fest tasks or the Star Path. Whatever your reason for watching, I'm so glad you chose to. I've said this in previous videos, but I am so grateful to have the furniture mode camera back to normal. It's so nice to be able to just take a second to look at a build from walkthrough level and make sure that it looks good. Anyone else think it's weird that not all rocks can go on rugs or pathing? Like, why? I specifically started at the back of the build so that the trees wouldn't get in my way, and then what do? The very first thing I do when I'm putting down the trees is put down the first set of trees in the front. So a useful tip for decorating is not to do what I did, and to start from the back of the build and work your way forward. It'll help immensely. I used these Forest of Valor rock clusters to line the path. I thought about using the rocky terrain like I did with Rapunzel's tower, but I wanted the entire build to feel like it's something you just stumble upon in the middle of the forest, just like in the movie. So the rock clusters added a bit of dimension to the leaf path without it feeling too structured. Thank goodness for this Lion King waterfall. It's the next best thing to terraforming, and I'm so grateful that it can go on a rug. At this point, I just started throwing out all the rustic items I could think of. That reminds me, do you use the filters when building? I'd really love it if they'd give us a search bar considering how many unique furniture items we have in the game. But when building, the filters do help quite a bit. I'm still hoping and praying that we get a search feature in the future though. I love this funny little outhouse. It's so cute and rustic, and it feels like the perfect authentic cottagecore element. Also, I guess I probably should have said this from the beginning, but cottagecore is not really my strong suit at all. When in doubt, I always tend to gravitate towards fairycore just about every time. So if you're doing a similar build in your own valley and cottagecore is more your thing and you have a better idea of items to use, let me know in the comments what you used instead. It's so awesome that these crates let you put things on top of them now, but I did end up actually getting rid of that phonograph later. It just felt a teeny bit too cluttery for my taste. I used these little pumpkin collections from the Cinderella items because they fit so perfectly with the green, orange, and blue of the Tavern. Besides, they're super cute. I will eventually be decorating the inside of the tavern, but I also wanted a little outdoor seating area. The casita table is the perfect tavern table, and the 9 squares for putting items on top is amazing. I also love that it's perfectly centered if you put a candle in the middle. No tavern is complete without a bar, so I put one in this corner. The apothecary shelf isn't quite a drink shelf, but we can suspend belief for a moment and pretend. I do like the way it looks. I added a few more tangled items besides these helmet lamps and corona pillars later, but since it was a last-minute decision while I was taking pictures, I didn't record it. I ended up moving the helmet lamp to the other side of the piano, and then I added the tangled wooden bench and homey rug on the right side of the piano. It just made the space feel less open and more cozy. The last little area I created was a painting class. This is how I imagine Rapunzel started to put her little stamp of whimsy on everything in her kingdom. She already started in the movie by revealing the inner dreamer in all the ruffians and thugs in the tavern, so it just makes sense to me that little bits of her artistic flair would make its way into the lives of everyone around her. It actually started already a little bit in the Tangled animated series, which I didn't know existed until like a month ago. It is so good, and it has the original voice actors from the movie, which I love. Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments. Once I get enough daisy coins from the boutique, I'd love to do a cute little colorful path to and from this area, but for now the regular rocky terrain will do just fine. But wouldn't it be adorable to think that Rapunzel took the time to paint the little stone path? I'd like to think that's totally something she would do. Once all my little areas were done at the back of the build, I started filling in rocks and foliage at the front. I decided once again not to use any of the wild tangle foliage for this build, just like with Rapunzel's tower, since I really wanted it to feel like a forest rather than a jungle. No matter how hard I tried to make this a strictly cottagecore build, a little bit of fairycore crept in, and I couldn't resist using these flower vine lamps. I just couldn't help it. I'm obsessed with these things. How cute is this little craftable arrow sign? While I desperately wish that the tavern house skin came with a freestanding Snuggly Duckling sign that we could place anywhere, this is a pretty adorable alternative. So I was doing a pretty good job of starting at the back with my trees and working my way forward until I put down this oak, and I made the left side so much more difficult. So again, if you're doing a build, be sure to start at the back of your build when you're placing trees. It'll make things so much easier. I saved the flowers for last as I usually do, but I honestly should have done the flowers before the trees as well. It would have made it easier to place them. For this build, I use white birds of paradise and impatiens, purple and blue hydrangeas, sunflowers, and yellow nasturtiums. I had to resist the urge to use the luminescent flowers since they feel so very fairycore, but feel free to use whatever flowers you like. I think the yellow star lilies would also look great for this build. I wanted to create a little bit of a meadow behind the painting class, so I used the rest of the flowers and added a few trees. And our Snuggly Duckling Tavern is complete. Thank you so much for watching today. If you've subscribed and liked and commented on my videos, I appreciate you so much. If you enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I will be posting a walkthrough of all my Tangled builds combined soon. See you next time!